Authorities need help finding a man they call a sexually violent predator. The Texas Department of Public Safety says 57-year-old Fernando Thompson removed his GPS ankle monitor and left the Northeast Austin halfway house where he was staying. KXAN's Sophia Beausoleil spoke with a neighbor who says she's keeping an extra lookout for her family.
Thanksgiving week. It means Debbie Steen gets to spend more time with her granddaughter and nieces.
These are all girls over here, so you know we need to be protective or be safe with them.
The Texas Department of Public Safety says Fernando Thompson was convicted of aggravated rape of a child in 1982. He's been under the state's civil commitment program for sexually violent predators. On Tuesday, he took off his ankle monitor and left this halfway home, which is less than a quarter mile from Debbie's family.
That means no one knows where his whereabouts are. No one knows if he's still in the neighborhood or still in the area or whatever.
Burke Supervised Living manages the halfway house Fernando Thompson was living at. People who work here tell me that he had signed out to go to work, but never came back.
We were really surprised 10 minutes later when they called and said that he had cut his monitor off.
Tony Taylor is the Burke Supervised Living director. She says the facility is not a prison, but has supervised cameras and live-in staff.
We are supervised living. We supervise medications. We supervise people's coming and going. When they're off the property, we have no control.
Taylor says Thompson has lived there for 2 years without any problems.
He needs to be arrested because we don't know why he went off the rail.
And now don't nobody know where his whereabouts are until he do something that's wrong, and that might be too late for the next person or the victim that gets caught up in that situation.
Which is why Debbie says she's keeping an extra eye out for her family. Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News.
And DPS says Thompson is possibly driving a silver 1997 Chevrolet Lumina with a license plate GCL 5976. We're told law enforcement across the country are looking for him. It is not unusual for people labeled as sex predators to end up in a residential halfway house after they've served prison time. The state calls them civil commitment offenders. It's for people determined by a judge or jury to need outpatient treatment and required supervision. Those restrictions can last for years. For example, Thompson was sentenced to 20 years after his 1982 conviction, but he was still required to live in a halfway house more than a decade after his release.